Oh, missed one right away. What the heck? That was my first cast. That was a good bite. So I drifted my bead through this a few times and got no bites. I can see fish in there, and switched to a prime lure glorious spoon, and sure enough, first cast, bam! That was a hard hit. Can't believe I missed that. That's probably gonna be the only one. It's quite a few fish tucked against the other side. It's quite deep there. It's a little deceiving because water's so clear, but they're there. All right, we're gonna get a coho here. So what I like to do So when I'm river fishing with lures like that, what I like to do is actually to cast a little further upstream. So 10, 11 o'clock upstream, and let that current bring the lure down a little bit and just start retrieving slowly as the spoon drifts downstream, and just kind of pick up that slack. And the trick is you want to reel it not too fast, but also not too slow so you don't snag up. And put it right in front of the fish's face. Right in front of the fish's face, which is pretty close to the bottom, but not on the bottom. You want to keep that lure maybe a foot off the bottom, just so the fish can see it. These coho salmon, they look up. You know, salmon, they sit right on the bottom and look up. So if they see something drifting by them, they'll chase it. Hopefully, that's the idea, anyways. So we'll see. And the beauty thing about spoons is that you're covering spots. So, you know, after swinging across this piece of water, I'm pretty much, you know, have covered the spots right from the other side to this side. And I can walk up and down, cover some more spots. Usually, if there's an aggressive fish, they'll grab it within the first few casts. It's not like float fishing. You have to keep drifting your presentation over and over again, because you're only fishing one single line at a time, one single lane, drift lane at a time. This is sweeping the lure right across the run. So you're basically scanning right across for aggressive fish. And quite often, just like that first cast, the fish will grab it on the drop as the lure lands in the water. So you gotta be ready. So if you notice that, I pretty much retrieve right away. I don't wait for that lure to sink too much. This is not a very deep run. We're looking at maybe 3 feet, 4 feet deep. So, but I can start up my retrieve not too fast. So as I retrieve, the lure is still sinking, especially if it's coming downstream. Yeah. Definitely want to keep adjusting your retrieve speed. So my retrieve speed, as the lure is, it's different when it's upstream from me or downstream from me. When it's down, there's a bit of current pushing the lure, so it's slower. When it's up there, I tend to go a little faster because I'm picking up the slack line as the lure is coming down towards me. Come on now, these fish are not cooperating. This water being so clear, I knew they wouldn't bite as much. Especially this early in the season when the water temperature is still a little higher, coho tends to bite better as it gets colder. They'll be more willing to chase. It's colder. Nothing. I'm gonna keep going down because I think I'm just gonna scan through these spots, see if there's any fish down this way. Oh, there's one right there. That was a little one. First coho of the year. First coho of the year. There it is. It's all wrapped up. The coho roll. Oh gosh. Oh jeez. Oh, it's wild. Okay, that's okay. First coho of the year. I'll take it. Oh, persistence. You know, just gotta keep casting at them and they will commit eventually. Big fish. Oh, jeez. That's a big fish. Yeah, it's a big one. Yeah. Woo, big coho. Big coho. Wild fish, we can keep this in the water and let it go. Hooks out pretty easily. Barber's hook. Oh, let's take a look. That is a big fish. That's a nice fish. I should do it this way. Ooh. Nice, not bad for the first fish of the year. Nice big wild male. Off he goes. Haha. Finally, first one of the year. Okay, so now that the coho salmon are in the systems across the Fraser Valley, I'm getting really excited. This is the time of year I will get up early in the morning and get out and definitely want to get my fix of coho salmon fishing in the next couple months. The fishing is usually good from mid-September all the way until mid-November. Of course, you can catch coho salmon all the way until early December, but this is kind of the prime time. And once we get into October, as the river comes up from the amount of rain that we're going to be getting, lure fishing is probably the easiest way to get them. I've always told people that if you're just getting to salmon fishing, grab a spinning rod and grab a box of lures, and you won't be disappointed. Float fishing is pretty fun. Float fishing with bait, with soft beads, and all other kinds of presentations is pretty fun because everybody loves watching the bobber going down, but you do miss a lot of fish and you do lose a lot of fish. Well, it's, for me anyways, from personal experience. But using casting and retrieving spoons and spinners, it's really a great way to go because you connect it to the fishing line all the time, and when you feel the bite, you based on reaction, you'll set the hook, and it's pretty rare that you miss a bite. So it's definitely worth trying, worth having a box of lures and try it out. So we're going to talk about the lures that I'm using at the moment. Prime Lures, based in Vancouver, has been sponsoring the videos for the last 2 years. I'm really happy with them, and you know, just trying out different colors as well. I remember 2 years ago, I was having a lot of success with chartreuse, and everyone kind of went crazy and went out and bought a whole lot of chartreuse lures. But you know what? All the other colors do work as well. It really depends on the water conditions. So you want to have a few different colors, a few different types, and a few different sizes to match the type of water that you're fishing. There isn't a single good fishing spot. There isn't a one good single productive fishing lure, because conditions are always changing. The time of the day, it can fish very differently. So that's why you end up spending a lot of money on many different things trying to catch that one coho salmon swimming in the water, right? So these glory spoons are kind of what I like to use for what I call walking speed water. So, you know, if you're coming to the river, you're looking through the run, and the speed of the water moving is kind of like not too fast, kind of just that walking speed. That's the type of water I'm looking for when fishing for coho salmon, especially towards the middle of the run and the tail end of the run. Not the head of the run. The head of the run tend to be a little faster, even though it's deeper. It tends to get occupied by Chinook salmon, by chum salmon, by the bigger species. While the coho salmon, they're more shy and they tend to get pushed back to the second half of the run. So focus on that area. Focus on area that doesn't looks kind of shallow, looks like there's nothing around, but the fish, the coho, they really will camouflage to the background, to the root bed. So just pay attention to that. Always look around, look in the water, look for fish that are kind of doing this. They come up and their little fin, show their fin on the surface, and that's always a good sign that, you know, there's a coho that might be willing to bite your lure in the area. Another great thing about lure fishing is that if you put something in front of them, if that's an aggressive fish, they usually grab it right away. And if they don't, just keep on moving, keep casting different areas, and eventually you will bump into aggressive fish. Anyways, so glory spoons are great for that kind of water, so flowing kind of water. So you cast this out, the spoon is kind of broad. So when you cast it out, I like to cast my lure, as mentioned earlier, about 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock, a little upstream from me. And once it lands in the water, it's gonna sink down and the current's gonna push it down towards in front of you. And that's when you just start retrieving, and that lure is gonna be fluttering. It's not being pulled back towards you. That happens when the lure goes downstream from you, it's gonna get pulled back. But most of my bites come from when that lure is fluttering down towards you. And for whatever reason, coho love that. They love that fluttering, that free drifting. All you're doing is you're retrieving by picking up the slack line as the lure is coming back to you. So I love the shape. I love the way it bends. I love the broad body. This is what makes it flutter a lot. If you have a long lure, it doesn't do, the action is very, very different to that. So this is one of my favorite, the gold with the orange stripe. Plain silver is pretty good as well. Some of the funky colors that I haven't really tried, like these ones, the white and with a bit of a orange sparkle. And look at that one here. This one has worked pretty well with the chartreuse stripe and the blue. I've heard blue works really well for coho, and you know what? It wasn't until about last year that I really committed to doing more, using more lures with blue, and yeah, they've all caught fish. So another set of lures that Prime Lures has come out with its these Trinity spoons. So these ones are more slender and a little smaller. So these ones, I would say they're not really for the type of water that I just described before. But if you find a fairly stagnant kind of water, maybe moving just a little bit and slightly deeper, and you want to cast this lure out and retrieving, this would be a great option. You know, on low clear water, if the water is not moving very much and the fish are easily spooked, this would be really good. These glory spoons, they make pretty big splashes, whereas these ones don't. So you want to be a little more stealth when you're fishing in clear water conditions and slow water. That's where the fish, the coho, can easily be spooked. You want to go with that one. So, and you know what? And these would be great for trout fishing. You know what? I like to go into maybe take this to the tidal Fraser and try to catch cutthroat and bull trout as well. And you can use these for interior lakes for rainbow trout as well. So I'm excited to do more fishing with these ones and try out a variety of fisheries with them. These clean up crew spinners, they do clean up. So they come in different sizes. Size number 3, which is what they just came out with recently. And then there's 4. And I don't believe I have a 5 here. I know a lot of people like to use 5. The different numbers represent the size of, not just the size of the lure, but also the size of the blade. So notice how the 4 and 3, the blade size is quite different. These ones are pretty light. So the only problem with this is that if you're fishing in a run where the water is moving too fast, it's not going to get down to the fish. An option to solve that problem is to fish this under the float with additional weight placed just above the line, and you can cast this out. You don't fish it like the way you would do for float fishing usually. So you cast it out, just slowly retrieve it, retrieve your float back, and this will be fluttering further down, and it works pretty well for coho that way too. And when they bite, the float would actually go down. You would actually feel the bites on your rod while looking at the float going down at the same time. So it's a pretty exciting way of catching them. I've had great success with the number 4 as well last year, and I'm looking forward to use these more. These would be great for trout fishing in rivers as well and lakes, I think. So it's and you know what, like the Trinity spoons, these 2 will be my go-to ones if I can find some really slow water, really stagnant water, and if there are fish around, I can chuck this out and without the fish noticing them, and I think they will do the job just fine. So yeah, so this is just a short video on lure fishing for coho salmon. I'm glad I finally got that one fish the other day, and it was a big coho. It wasn't pretty big coho for September. That's pretty much for lure fishing in this episode. I'm getting, like I said, I'm getting really excited. The season's just getting started. I'm looking forward to hook up more coho salmon in the next 2 months. It's such a long season. It's about 6 to 8 weeks of prime good salmon fishing time, and looking forward to go out and chuck some more spoons and spinners. And I hope you will have all the success as well in the coming months. And if you have any other questions regarding lure fishing for salmon, you know, the how to, when and where, make sure you leave a comment on the bottom. I'll do my best to answer your questions, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate your support, and until next time, good luck fishing.